they've not shown this to you. Okay,
No.
what they're trying to say with this is that in your boots, you have heels.
Finally, somebody's asked Ron DeSantis the question that I've wanted the media to ask him for a while now. What's with those heels, bro? So, as you'll see, as I'll get to, this is a clip from the Patrick Bet David podcast, the PBD podcast. Patrick Bet David is a conservative who I believe actually supports Ron DeSantis, but he's also not afraid to ask some awkward questions. Now, before I get into this, in case you're coming to this for the first time, you have no idea what's going on. There have been some questions around Ron DeSantis and his actual height. So I'll get to later on how important height can be to becoming president. But it's clear Ron DeSantis is not the height that he is trying to be. So I'm going to go through some examples here. Here's one, a video that's been posted for a while. It's been going around on Twitter, TikTok. Check out this awkward walk. And like the way he lifts his legs here, it's almost like it reminds me of when I walk through deep snow, where it's like you're like lifting your feet in a way that is not natural. And we'll get to some closer images, but the distance between the back of this boot and the front is a bit extreme, leading many to believe that his foot is actually somewhere here and there's a massive heel around here. So I'm going to get to some other images. And he basically wears these boots. He doesn't wear any other like normal shoes. He just wears awkward looking boots. So here's another example of that. Here's another one with the visualizer of where his foot may be. Again, notice how wide it is between the back of the foot and the front. I mean, I think this is maybe a little extreme, but I don't think it's too far off. There are also, articles going over his ugly boots, and they call this an investigation. So there are many images of him wearing. This is all he wears are these boots, and he wears these cowboy boots as well. These ones here, which are similarly designed. You see here they have where they think the bones may be in his legs while he's walking. But I want to get to the image at the bottom here. So another example of where, his foot could be in the boot. Again, I think this is maybe a little extreme, but it gives you an idea that this is not just a normal boot. There's something else going on in there. Now, before I get to the clip from the PBD podcast, I just want to say, look, if you're a guy and you want to wear heels or you want to make yourself taller, okay, good. Go ahead. Who cares? The difference here is that he's clearly trying to hide what his actual height is. And he's not embracing gender fluidity. Like he's very anti that. So to be very anti that while trying to, dabble a little bit in maybe some of the clothing, it's worth calling out. So let me get to the video here, and then I'll get to a little bit more.
Are you the type of person, like I have people around me that love to say, hey, Pat, you got something between your teeth. These are the annoying people in your life, right? Hey, Pat, pull your zipper up. Hey, Pat, do this. Hey, pull one of your socks is lower than the other one. I'm sure your marketing team points out how they're trying to troll you in the marketplace. Okay, I'm sure they're doing that. Can you bring this one clip? I know you were on, what do you call it? On, what was it? Bill Maher, and Bill Maher talked about the boots. I've seen you walk with these boots. Go ahead and play this clip. This on TikTok went viral. It doesn't have 1 million views. It doesn't have, 10 million views. This thing's got 1.2 million likes. And some people are wondering,
what are they? I don't even. I haven't seen that.
They've not shown this to you. Okay,
No.
What they're trying to say with this is that in your boots you have heels.
No.
That's what they're trying to say.
Those are just standard off the rack Lucchese.
How tall are you? How tall are you, Governor? How tall?
5'11".
5'11". Okay. Why don't you wear tennis shoes and dress shoes?
I do wear tennis shoes when I work out. Yeah, 100%.
You do?
Yep.
Okay. I got a gift for you. I'd love for you to wear, okay, I shop at Ferragamo, okay, and
I don't accept gifts. I can't accept it.
I totally get it.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to put it here.
Oh my God, that is embarrassing. So I'll have the follow-up here. There's not much else to it, but why don't you wear dress shoes and tennis shoes? Look, he answered where he wears tennis shoes when he's working out. He didn't say why he doesn't wear dress shoes we're not stupid. Obviously, Ron DeSantis is trying to appear taller than he actually is. I'll get to, again, what his actual height may be near the end of this video, but I do want to show you, before I get to the last clip here, just how important this issue is to becoming president for whatever reason. So we can speculate as to why, as I'll get to, this article speculates as to why, but as The Economist writes here, in politics, height matters. So American voters are influenced by candidates' stature. So you can see over the years the height of most presidents, and it is in most cases well above the average height of, in this case, army servicemen. So I guess that's an easy way to get kind of the standard in terms of male height. So it's beneficial to be taller than your average person. So as they write here, a paper published in 2013 by psychologists at the University of Groningen in the Netherlands analyzed the results of American presidential elections dating back to 1789. They found that taller candidates received more votes than shorter ones, roughly 2/3 of the time. And the taller the candidate relative to their opponents, the greater the average margin of victory. Among presidents who have sought a second term, winners have been 2 inches taller on average than losers. The authors conclude that height may explain as much as 15% of the variation in election outcomes. So they go on to show another graph here discussing the ratio of presidents' votes to those of closest rival. And they go on to speculate here. Taller people enjoy higher self-esteem on average and are perceived to be healthier, more intelligent, and more authoritative. So it's important to note here, perceived to be. That doesn't mean they are, but perception when it comes to who you're going to vote for means a whole hell of a lot. So they write here, this may help to account for their advantage at the polls. So this is part of the reason why Ron DeSantis would be wearing heels within his boots. Let me get to the last part of that clip where Ron DeSantis kind of defends himself here, but check this out.
Where do you fared? I know.
No, but here's the thing. I mean, I think with just how politics works is, Yogi Berra, when he was in the Yankees, they said, Yogi, he doesn't look like a Yankee. He doesn't do this.
Yeah.
And Yogi's basically like, okay, if you say I'm ugly, that's fine, but you don't hit a baseball with your face. And so what we're doing is, really, I think, doing the issues, the leadership. People that are poking at you for different things, that's fine. But ultimately, that is not, I think it's a sign of strength. I think if they could say he was a horrible governor, he was this, he was that.
This is so disingenuous. This is the first time I've done a video on Ron DeSantis' height, and I'm doing it because it's a moment of levity in really dark times right now in the world. This, of course, is not an important issue at all. But it goes to how fake Ron DeSantis is. People aren't poking at him because he's short. They're poking at him because he's pretending to be taller than he actually is. Going to him being fake. There has been this idea that, they can't attack me on anything else. I'm a great governor. They can't. There are countless reasons to criticize Ron DeSantis, as I have done in many other videos. One example is just the insane cost of living. The cost of living in Florida has gone up higher than in any other state since Ron DeSantis took over the state. And that goes to inflation. Florida is America's inflation hotspot. It's double there than anywhere else. So the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach area has the highest inflation rate of metro areas with more than 2.5 million residents, with a 9% inflation rate for 12 months ending in April. That's more than double the national average of 4%. Florida, the least affordable place to live in the U.S. And again, that's since DeSantis took over. You also have Florida taxpayers picking up the bill for Ron DeSantis' culture war lawsuits. So this is from The Guardian here, writing Governor's Disney battle and extremist policies are met with costly lawsuits covered by blank check from Republican legislature. So Ron DeSantis is a terrible governor. This discussion about him faking his height just goes to how fake the entire man is. Now, here's what his height may actually be. Benjamin Ryan here, he's a health and science writer, I believe, a health and science reporter for New York Times, NBC News, Guardian, and other places. Writes here, my friend who went to law school with Ron DeSantis responded to my query about his height, quote, definitely under what I thought of as normal, maybe 5'7" or 5'8". So Ron DeSantis, he's not 5'11". He's much shorter. Now, it's important to be clear here. It's okay to be short. No one's, I was incredibly short when I was compared to other kids in elementary school, in early years of high school. I know what it's like to be short, especially at that age. It's not fun. But pretending you are taller than you actually are is much worse than just being who you are. It's fine to be short. I have many short friends. There's nothing wrong with being short. It's being fake. That's the problem. His height isn't the problem. It's him being fake. That's the problem. And this, I think, also speaks to how terrible he's doing in polling. You have here DeSantis still, I mean, I guess you could say to his credit, still hanging in there in second place, but it's second place at, what is it now? 13.9% to Trump still sitting at 57.1%. And as I've discussed in previous videos, since DeSantis officially announced his run for president, he's only lost support. He was actually much more popular when people didn't know if he was going to announce or not. So the more people have seen of Ron DeSantis, the more they realize how fake this man is. And him faking his height is just one piece of that.